We talk a lot about equity research and finance careers on this channel, and a very common question we see is whether a CFA is worth it or not. The answer is a little bit more nuanced than a blanket yes or no, and honestly it depends on where you are in your career.
It's useful depending what you're going to do with it. It would have helped me get in, but it doesn't help me now. I had other corresponding experience in my point of view that was better suited than it. So I don't think the impact is that large. Is it useful for me now? No.
Well, I mean, it was for me, right? I passed level 2 and I got a job doing equity research. So I think so.
From a curriculum standpoint, you cover a lot of the core concepts you will see in the finance industry. Level 1 gives you a lot of the foundations that you will see in a finance bachelor's degree, like time value of money, exchange rates, and basic accounting. If your background was in business or finance, Level 1 likely won't be too big of a challenge for you. It's a lot of concepts and theories. In Level 2, you build on what you've learned in Level 1 with a more quantitative approach, with more formulas, and you start dabbling into simple regression analysis. You also look into interest rate parity and economic growth models. You also spend a lot of time on understanding financial statements, corporate finance, where you learn to see everything from the perspective of the companies themselves, from the inside. Then you also get introduced to fixed income, derivatives, portfolio management, which you will build on later in Level 3. Once you get to Level 3, this is where you really narrow down into the financial markets, and you change your perspective from looking at a company from inside to looking at companies from the outside. You cover tax and wealth planning, risk premiums, and more sophisticated valuation models which you'll apply to individual companies. You'll also start looking into strategies behind derivatives and options, not just the concept themselves. In practice, once you find a job, you won't really be using all of the things in the CFA curriculum. What it does is arm you with the basics of understanding high level of what everything is about.
To be in asset management, it waives a bunch of other tests that you have to do to actually manage assets for people. And you can have the CFA instead and not take the other tests.
A tangible benefit for a CFA designation are the waivers and exemptions you would get as a charter holder. This means, for certain designations, you can either skip some of the courses or exams in pursuit of another certification. Or it may even be a full equivalence, meaning you are fully exempt. So for example, in the US, the CFA is equivalent to passing a Series 65 or 86 exam. In 2021, the CFA pass rates took a pretty big tumble versus the historical pass rates. The CFA Institute typically doesn't provide much detail towards why the pass rates came down, but there are some theories out there.
So last week, Level 2 came out, and the pass rate was around the 40-something, which is a lot better than like 30 or 20-something that was before that.
What are the pass rates? It used to be so much better. It used to be like 50%.
Well, we're not sure. Some people think it's a money grab because they're also making it so you can do the test 2 times a year. Some people are saying, for Level 1 especially, that you just had people who were bored and just took it. Like if you're an engineer or something, or computer scientist, you might just say, yeah, we'll try this out. During the pandemic, you didn't know whether or not it would get canceled, and so people were half-assing the studying. You do your exam, hopefully you pass and you forget about it. I'd like to think it was just some of those COVID influences.
So the question really is whether the benefit you get out of becoming a CFA charter holder over the course of 3 years is worth your time investment, because each level takes about 300 hours worth of studying. Is it the right path for you? Can you get to the spot in your career that you want to be without a CFA? Can you get the work or career experience another way, like through your undergraduate degree or your master's degree? Or you get into a bank or a firm and you strategically move roles to gain the experience you need to get where you want to be. These are all the options that you have in order to get where you want to be in your career. You have to think about these options as you make the decision on whether a CFA is worth it to you. And that's it. Hope you like this one. Catch you next time.